Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial, and today I'm going to be talking about AirBNB. This is a stock that we have talked about a number of times on the channel, and we were covering this about 2 weeks ago. And as you can see, since that point in time, the stock has continued to fall. A lot of this is being associated with two primary items. The first being the continued spread of the Omicron variation of the COVID-19 virus. And one of the things that I would highlight here is it's not necessarily the concern about the virus itself that is causing AirBNB to drop, but rather the travel restrictions being associated with it. At this point in time, we've seen that primarily occurring in Africa and Europe. However, as we continue to see the potential spread here in the United States, I would expect to see some of the potential economic restrictions. I doubt we'll see lockdowns, but some restrictions be put in place, or even just concern about traveling while there's a disease spreading once again could cause there to be further concern with AirBNB numbers. From a fundamentals perspective, the company continues to perform very well. And you can see, again, we've got just a massive range going on right here. But all in all, the company continues to perform very, very well. You can see that revenue continues to climb higher and higher. And I expect Q4 to be very, very strong as well. The follow-up here is that Q3 is, generally speaking, for AirBNB the strongest quarter of the calendar year for them because we've got the summer travel in place. However, they said that they were expecting to have a ton of volume by way of travel for the week of Thanksgiving. So it's going to be interesting to watch this continue to progress. But one of the things that we're seeing get hit when we talk about some of these high-flying stocks is the overall valuation. You can see that AirBNB is currently trading around 20 times price to sales, which is nearly double or more than double the industry average when we're looking at this particular sector. But the thing that we want to focus on right now is not necessarily just this price to sales compared to the industry, but the fact that valuations as a whole are trading at record highs. So right now the company is not considered profitable because the last trailing 12 months was not profitable. But for these companies that are not currently driving a profit, there is a lot of concern because generally speaking, they are financing their growth with debt. And so when we're looking at them grow, if we see interest rates go higher, which is the current expectation going into next year, then we can see a lot of concern with the current valuations of the overall market, and in particular high flyers like an AirBNB. So the concern is that right now a lot of companies are trading at price to sales ratios versus price to earnings, which was more traditional. So the question is, where can AirBNB go from here? This is a long-term hold for me. However, I've put a pause on my buying as of last week because of the fact that we're going to continue to see, I expect, some continued volatility. And what I'm trying not to do is catch that falling knife. So this is a stock that I really like and that I will continue to buy, but I'd like to see it level out. I'd like to see the overall market level out as well. Again, we're seeing a lot of high flyers just get absolutely killed over the past 2-3 weeks. And over this weekend, we're seeing a lot of cryptocurrencies drop pretty heavily as well. And again, cryptocurrency is generally viewed as a speculative asset. And there are a lot of stocks that are viewed as speculative assets as well. And the fact that both of those asset classes right now are moving heavily to the downside makes me want to sit back and pause versus necessarily trying to time a bottom. But AirBNB as a whole, should their growth story continue at the rate that it has, as they continue to be profitable, I'll go back to their valuation numbers right here, or their fundamentals rather. As you can see that they continue to produce a positive net income here over the past quarter, a very strong quarter. If they can continue to produce this over the next 2 to 3 quarters to where they are creating a profit, then I'm very confident that we'll see the company continue to do well and the stock continue to do well in tandem. So that's what I'm watching. All in all, the summary here is that I'm not going to be making a purchase on AirBNB in the immediate future, but it's something that I'm going to be watching very closely. So if you find this content helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks. Talk to you later.